Hi guys, it's Chunky here. I'm here with Dr. Dominic, and he has all my scans for my back and everything. So I kind of want to see what he tells me. What's up?
Hi everybody. Yes, we did a scan with Chunky that measures muscle tension at every segment of his body, and it's really consistent with where people store tension in their body. So this is the first time I'm seeing Chunky. I'm going to check him out and share with you guys what I see. I haven't done a consult with him. I haven't done the exam. He hasn't really told me much of anything. So
I kept it very vague.
yeah, extremely. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to share with you guys how I'm doing the evaluation and what it's consistent with. And what I mean consistent with, if you have tension in an area, that corresponds to what the person believes on a subconscious level. It corresponds to their emotions. It corresponds to their health challenges. So I'm going to do the quick eval on Chunky, and I'm going to share with you what I find as his challenges. And he's going to give me, yeah, you're spot on, or no, you don't know what you're talking about. So let's see.
Sweet.
Let's have some fun. Okay, so with Chunky, as I feel the top of his neck, that's fear pattern. It's a fear physiology. And it's consistent with people that have a perspective of life, is that there's not enough time, not enough money. So chin in a little bit. Yeah, and it's rotated to the right. So when that area rotates to the right, the self-talk, the subconscious belief, how it shows up in life is that I'm not enough. And which means that sometimes life can seem like there's too much to do and not enough support. But the reality is that it always comes back to self. It's not that life is too much and there's not enough support. It's that the person believes themselves is that though they're not enough. So you can keep changing your reality. You can keep hiring more people and more staff. But the reality is wherever I go, there I am. The person will have the same belief, the same emotions, the same perception. So it's not our environment that needs to change. It's self. So we're going to be working on Chunky with that. It's so weird calling you Chunky because you're a thin guy. You're not heavy. So also what this corresponds to is tension at the top of the neck there. In that area corresponds to TMJ, or someone who grinds their teeth at night. Fear pattern. There's some fear with it. That's fear physiology. It's pulling down the right side. And as we get to your lower neck in this area either corresponds to nervousness, borderline anxiety, or this area corresponds to GI challenges, constipation, Crohn's, irritable bowel.
So I think it's the first symptoms, and more anxiety than the bowel. Oh, so I think for me personally, I don't think it's the bowel. My bowel syndrome is pretty good. I've never been constipated, all that. So I think it's more the anxiety and stuff in that section.
And what often happens is the person will express it either through the organ system, which would be your intestines, or the emotional system, which would be more the nervousness, anxiety. It's usually one or the other, although sometimes people can come in with both. So we're going to work with Chunky to get the top of this neck to release the tension and get that body and perception and subconscious pattern to open up and be more flexible, and the lower part to open up and more flexible. So now we're going to work our way down here. We'll get to Chunky's upper back. This area has to do with panic attacks. And there's a little bit of tension here, but it's moving a bit. Right behind the heart is open and flexible. Good for you. That's unusual. Mid-back, there is a sizable amount of muscle tension through here. And this has to do with rage. This anger and rage, and he's laughing. So is that something you've had a challenge with a little bit at times?
I mean, not really, but I think I could definitely see it. I definitely see why that's there.
Yeah?
There's definitely, yeah.
Did you have some of that at home, either with mom or with dad?
I could see that, yeah.
I don't want to throw your mom and dad under the bus. They might see this, but well, let's just say there's a lot of muscle tension, which your muscular system is your emotional system. And there's a lot of tension through here. So what that tells me as a practitioner is that he's not expressing it, because if
I can see that.
If Chunky felt it but learned at an early age that it wasn't safe to express or wasn't supported to express, the person internalizes it. And when they internalize emotions, it shows up as muscle tension. So as we work with Chunky and help him reconnect to this, we're also going to have him give that energy and emotion a voice. And we're going to see this muscle tension in the rage area get less and less as he becomes more and more expressive.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but I think that's my problem, where I kind of just just kind of keep it inside, don't really let it out. Kind of. I think that's why it's all built up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're going to help you reconnect to that and give you an opportunity to express what you didn't express initially. And that's a big concern because whenever I see someone with a rage pattern, and there's a lot of muscle tension, emotional tension around it, if expressing that emotion is not available for whatever reason, it tends to have the person withdraw from life, and then they go into depression. So we don't want depression. We want him to connect to it and experience. Is that something you've had a challenge with?
Oh yeah. No, I definitely dealt with that.
Yeah. So
but I've gotten a lot better recently, like in the last couple of years. But like a couple of years ago, for sure, that was definitely one of my biggest problems. Like I kind of felt like, especially during like high school, middle school time, I was in a like kind of a deep depressive state. Like I was like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to do this. I would just kind of literally just withdrew from everything pretty much. But I learned to deal with that and kind of move past that. But I guess it's still kind of there, just always in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably about 80% maxed out. So your baseline, probably the last several years, has been a lot of rage that you withdrew from life because so you didn't express it and then went into depression. We're going to help you with that, Chunky.
Sweet. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. So there you have it. Once again, I'm spot on. And your body is your subconscious. And if you want to change your life, you have to change your subconscious, which is your body. So that's the initial assessment with Chunky. Really straightforward, spot on, accurate. And we're going to work with Chunky for, a week or two?
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And then we're going to sit down and do the same. And here we go.
Sweet. I'm excited. Let's see what happens.